Hi guys, welcome to Connecting Words. I'll be your host today. My name is Samantha and I'm here with my
My
brothers.
name is Jonah.
And I'm blown.
And our topic for today is stalkers. But before we start, what are we drinking, guys?
I got a Blue Moon, one of my
Belgian is
favorites.
good. And I got a local brewery here in San Diego called Port Brewing.
Mm.
Always think you're better
Really
than us with your
delicious.
local breweries.
Yeah, they
Ooh,
got everything
IPA.
here.
Damn,
Yeah.
7%
So
too.
that's what we're drinking. All
Crazy.
right. What are you drinking, Sam?
I have just orange juice with vodka.
Vodka.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Alright, before we start, what comes to mind when you hear the word stalker?
Creeps.
What do you think
Creeps, like creepers. Like,
of?
Psycho.
Okay.
my biggest fear
Psycho.
is like open windows. There's like a guy right there,
Would you
Uh,
be scared if it's a girl stalker?
Uh,
if
I don't know. She
she
cute
was
though?
big and strong, stronger than me, maybe. But yeah, they could kill you too.
I'm not
Because
that big
girls
of
can
a
kill you.
guy, so like, it doesn't take that big of a woman to overpower me. You know what I mean?
Like
Anybody
someone that's like
over
four
five
nine.
three.
Someone
Like
that's like
like
5'3" is gonna overpower me, man.
but yeah, well I think of like mental health. Like they're just crazy when I hear the word stalker.
I don't really think it's mental. I think it's like, well, it is, that is like half of it, but I think the bigger part is obsession.
Obsession.
Uh, do you think it's nature or nurture?
Ooh.
That's a very good question. I think
Think
I think it's nurture, but it's not as in like just your parents raise you to be a stalker, right? It's nurture as in like, let's say you have a bad relationship with your girlfriend, and she nurtured you to become someone that, or he or she, right? And that's why most stalkers are relationship based, and so it's that obsession that you build, and then they're so toxic that they've created you to follow them and go to points that you never would think you would in life, like stalking them.
But there are stalkers out there who they don't even know them, like celebrities,
That's true. And
right?
see, that is the hard part, right? That's not really nurture. That's just someone that has mental illness, or they have a big obsession about something, right? And so, I don't know. That's very true.
Are
That's a
we?
good question.
I mean, are we like all obsessed with something? I don't know. I think I'm obsessed with like things, and it comes and goes. But I think stalkers, they're probably like they're one minded. They can't change their
I
obsession.
guess I am obsessed with cars because I found that 240 and then I stalked it and I found it.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I guess you could say it's the same concept, right? But
Yeah.
I've never stalked a
that's
person
okay.
personally, so at least I can be proud
But
of
yeah,
that.
I mean that's a little a word for you a little bit. Because you think Madeira or where you're from is so far. Like the community is so big. Like how did you find out Google Maps? Like you're kind of
Because you see the car, right? It's like someone seeing a pretty girl, right? They see a pretty girl and then they're like, she always walks this way. So you're like, I'm just gonna Google Map her until I find her. And so,
Wait, you found a 240? You're gonna go get it?
yeah, but I asked her to buy it and it was kind of expensive, so I passed on it,
How much?
like 7,000.
wait. Okay, you drove to the house.
And I left a note like a stalker late at night too because I didn't want them to see me like a stalker. I wrote the note.
Wow.
Okay, so what year was it?
1991 coupe with the moonroof. Ooh. Oh, it's a '89, so it's probably single cam, but yeah.
Oh, but
So,
then they have that nice power moonroof.
but I
Those are
found it on
nice.
Google Maps, just like a stalker would with a girl finding her on like your voting database or your Google
Voter
Maps and
registry.
stuff like that. Google and
Yeah, that
Facebook.
sounds like stalker right
Yeah,
there.
I've actually read that you can't use DMV online thingies databases to find information about
it's
people. It's
illegal
illegal
now.
now.
Have you heard those stories where these girls would take pictures of their face, right? And they'll use their irises to figure out where they're at, and people will actually find that. Like how their where their apartments are or stuff like that through their eyes.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I just upgraded my phone after 7 years, so my S9 was not able to take that clear photos, but
But as long as you're like 5'3" under, then you're good because Jonah
you're
won't
good.
stalk you. He has
Yeah.
he can't overpower you, so you're
If
good.
not, you're just holding my head, and I'm just
You're like Shauna Ray.
yeah.
But anyways, so there's this case that I read that kind of he's like the perfect stalker, like the textbook stalker, if I want to say. So this happened in 1968 with and it goes like this. In 1968, Tatiana became friends with Pransenjit Podar, a University of California, Berkeley student from India. They shared a friendly kiss at a New Year's Eve party, which gave him the impression that she was attracted to him. But Tatiana soon clarified that she was not interested in a romantic relationship. He could not handle the rejection and developed an unhealthy obsession with Tatiana, often secretly recording their conversations together. In the summer of 1969, she left on a trip to Brazil, so he went to see Dr. Lawrence Moore, a psychologist at the university hospital. During one of their therapy sessions, he openly expressed his intentions to kill Tatiana. Dr. Moore believed he was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and informed the campus police. But after the police interviewed him, they determined that he was not dangerous and decided to let him go. When she returned from Brazil, she was not informed about his threats against her. So on October 29th, he went to Tatiana's house and shot her with a pellet gun before stabbing her 14 times, all over a kiss. But afterwards, he immediately turned himself in and was convicted of second-degree murder. But his conviction was overturned because the jury at his trial was not properly instructed. Rather than retry him, the state elected to deport him back to India after serving only 5 years. But her family would sue the hospital for their failure to warn her about his threats. This led to a Supreme Court case, Tarasoff versus the Regents of the University of California, which ruled that mental health professionals have a duty to forego confidentiality and warn individuals who are threatened by parents. He almost got away with it, which is crazy.
That's great.
See, there's like 3 points I want to make, right? One is mental health, but it dives deeper to
Whew,
drug abuse, right? And drug abuse is the real issue here. It's not really mental health; it's drug abuse and
drugs, but
because like
he didn't do drugs.
oh, that's true.
Yeah, he was just a
Um, I think a
Indian
lot of
student.
times we wanna make excuses for them, but I think that they're just like
That's true. There's just
crazy.
some crazy people out there, and
Mhm. Like they have this inability to stop themselves from doing things they know they shouldn't, and then they already know that they shouldn't be like pursuing these impulses, but they do it anyways because they can't help themselves, and I think that's
do
kind
you
of
guys
like
believe it's like a intellectual disability where like they're not as smart as the
mm,
average, but
nope, nope, nope.
No,
I think they're very
actually,
smart. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
People who are like this, like sociopaths, they're usually really smart people
then their comprehension of like can't take a hint is so low.
because their social skills are low. So like serial killers, they're hella smart, but their social skills are
That's true.
lacking.
I think there is just a disconnect in their brain that's not willing to, isn't able to tell them that rejection is final. They can't take that rejection.
I think there's
Yeah,
something in the brain that tells them that like rejection is the worst thing ever, right? And it obsesses them to the point where like if I can't have you, then no one else can. Yeah.
exactly. So that actually leads into the five categories that stalkers kind of the five things that kind of make them a stalker. So, like we said,
Are we gonna do five
relationships.
fingers up right now or what?
No,
Okay.
let's do
tend,
it. Okay, go.
Okay.
tend to stalk previous partners and desires a relationship with the person, most oftentimes an acquaintance.
No, that's not me.
And then they're also obsessive, right? So they constantly think about the person they idolize. it's not even like a mutual love, you know. They might create a life with them and have a hard time imagining life without that person.
Is that number three?
This is the second one, obsessed.
Okay.
Yeah, don't put them all down yet. But there's this condition called erotomania, which is a form of delusional disorder in which an individual believes that the other person is in love with him.
That's and I
No, I
think
don't have
that's
that.
the most definition of a stalker, right? It's this
Mhm.
grandiose delusion of someone or having a life with someone they don't even know or barely know, or maybe they do know,
Yeah.
but it's obviously they've never had that certain life with.
Like in their mind, they're already exes, you know?
Yeah.
Like they had this relationship, they broke up, and now they're trying to
Like
win them
he
back.
You know,
based their whole relationship off that one simple kiss, right?
Yeah.
see,
Hmm.
the thing is, they this is what they're. I feel like the theme for a lot of these stalkers is that they convince themselves that the person they're pursuing is just denying a true love that they actually do have, but they're denying it for some reason. So they're trying to continue to pursue these people to get this person to realize what they really do love and do believe in. You know?
Um,
And I think they're
they
narcissistic
kind of
too, where they think, I have so much to give you. Why are you not accepting this? You know, it's like you give a gift to someone and you expect them to reciprocate, right? But then their
yeah.
gift is their attention to you when it comes off as very strong and creepy in a way. Um, but that's crazy.
And then the third one, you have your fingers ready.
I've
Just
lost I've
is
lost two already,
rejection.
so
Is rejection. So I feel like they said bad relationships trigger borderline personality disorder. So let's say like you lost a loved one that you're so in love with, it just triggers you to just be obsessive, like you know.
I think I can honestly say that I don't I don't obsess over people who reject me. I think in the past I've used that to be something that motivates me to be better. You know, right?
Hmm.
So I think in that context, I am not a stalker. I could never be. I don't have the energy to follow anybody. Fuck, I'm too tired at night. I'm not gonna get in my jeep or my car and go sit outside somebody's house. I'd rather be watching HBO Max or something. I don't know.
I do have time to cyber stalk though.
That's easy though.
I don't even watch my dog, so like I don't have time to watch it.
I don't.
Ooh.
But I see. I think the first part was that, right? The second part you talked about uh the breakups or losing someone, right? I think that
Yeah.
number three is very critical. Like that could turn a normal person into a stalker, and that just throws out the other four. You know, like let's say a bad breakup. You're a normal person, but let's say your wife or husband or your boyfriend girlfriend cheats on you. That number three right there, losing them, it causes you to become a stalker, and you might not be murderous or might not be like malevolent, but you're gonna be a stalker and you're gonna be in their space, you know. And I think a lot of people
I do
fall
have to
under
say,
that category.
when that kind of happened to me at first, like my first relationship, it took everything in me to just like not be obsessive. Cause you could fall into that trap real quick. Like, oh, who's his new girl that he cheated on me with? Oh, they got a family. I want to see how his
And
kid
I think
looks
that's
like.
that's
You know?
worse when they cheat on you. So like, let's say you just had a breakup and you split, you're kind of fine, right? But when they cheat on you, it
Mhm.
causes you to like have that obsession and want to know why they cheated on you. I think that's the main thing you're trying to figure out.
I think you know, like with experience comes like this understanding that you know there are people out there who are not going to be right for you, and that point in your life where you can understand that there are people out there that are not going to be right for you, that doesn't register with stalkers, right? So they're always going to be delusional. They're always going to be convincing themselves that hey, it's not that person. It's not me. It's just not the right timing. I've got to keep pursuing them. There's no point in me stopping because you know like even like those fake Hollywood romances and stuff like that. Like people understand it's fake, but these stalker people they believe that they have to pursue this person. And you know, oftentimes when they get these people, they don't want them
No, they're
anymore.
they like the chase, right? So if let's
Yeah,
say they do end up getting them, they get bored of them real quick because they
yeah.
really
So they
like
become
that drive more. and the fantasy is not
So,
there no more. The fantasy is not real, so they become, what do you say, abusive to that person.
so do you think stalkers are just emotionally immature?
I believe so, but like you said, they're
I mean, it
just
could be
socially, what's the word, like,
underdeveloped,
yeah, like they don't have social
Autistic?
skills, right? So
immature.
I don't know. Okay, before we keep going, there's where
number
we're at.
four.
Okay, there's two more. So we already kind of talked about this. They're really intelligent. So most stalkers, they said, are intelligent and they carefully plan their stalking behavior, so they don't really get caught. They go at nighttime like Jonah. They leave notes at night so you don't get caught. They they do. I've seen videos where they'll go to libraries, like public places, and use their computers instead of using their own to like stalk a person. So that they don't get tracked to them. But
With
I mean,
with the note I left, I thought so far as to what if it rains or gets wet. I put it in a paper plastic bag so it's weatherly proof, and I put it on.
did you put a strand of your hair in there too, just in case,
Yep,
no,
so he knows who
no,
it is?
that's different because the moment they told you no, you said, okay, fine, that part of my life is over.
that's true. They didn't even tell me no. They just gave me a price, and it was over.
Yeah, yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like, if you were a stalker, you would continually harass
That's
them,
true.
and even if you got the car, you probably would continue to
Yeah.
harass them.
Yeah, let's say the car breaks down and you go to the house like, hey, you sold me a broken car.
Or like I'm just always over there, even after I bought the car. Like, why are you still here?
Just hanging out.
Yeah, it's hard to say because like you being a car lover is not the same as you obsessing over one certain thing, right? So it's like, yeah, it's not comparable.
Cause like you're not endangering people's lives
That's
too.
true. It's more of a
You know.
passion obsession than like
Yeah.
Yeah,
a was it toxic obsession? You know.
yeah.
But the last one is motivation, right? So their object of desire is the only person they could ever love and is motivated to pursue this type of thinking. So they just like, even though people tell them, hey, you're wrong, they're like, no, I'm not. So they get obsessed over just trying to prove people wrong, and they're so motivated to get the thing
I
that they
see
want.
that a lot in stalkers,
Mhm.
and that is very true. Like they have this obsessive need to prove people wrong when even when they're wrong. You know.
Yeah. Like you could tell them,
Well,
hey, you're delusional. They're like, no, I'm not. You're delusional.
Yeah.
they're,
And
they're
here's why.
they want to justify their position in life. Like they want to let everybody make everybody understand why they're like this,
And try to have
right?
them, yeah, so that they would fit in or they're the norm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Going back to
and
intellectual, like, is it IQ intellectual or is it more like a certain type of intellectually to
I believe it's IQ because I feel like Elon Musk and them, they kind of lack social skills.
That's true.
yeah,
So they're like
man,
really, really book smart.
people like Einstein, right? You can kind of tell they don't have like the same social skills as like let's say a person who partied at that time, right? They're very personable. Einstein looked like he was always lost all the time, but he was like one of the the main genius people in this world. And you're talking about people like Elon Musk, who he's so awkward, but when you actually talk to him about the things he's passionate about, then he doesn't seem as awkward, right? So I think these stalkers, man, if you got to the point where like you're talking to them about the things that they're interested in, they probably would like be like kind of normal,
That's true.
you know?
That's true. And you see that, like certain videos and stuff like that, like when they talk about their hobbies and stuff, like they're a totally normal person, but then it's like a light switch that just switches off, and then they go at night and stalk the girl that they like or something.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
guys do you guys think there should be more stalking laws? Because I feel like police, when they see a stalker, they just
Like
slap
that
on the
was one of
hand.
my
You know,
three
like
points. And the second one was we need stricter stalking laws. Like it's almost like how come I could get arrested or lose my job for harassing at work, right? But when it's outside of work, there's just zero laws out there. There's
right.
so much stuff that doesn't happen.
I think the one of the main issue is that we allow it to go on for like a little bit too long, and there are no like there's no like culture of like people standing up for themselves. And I think that if everybody who, let's say, had somebody who was stalking them, and then, there should be like a law that says, if I warn you 3 times, know that the fourth time you come by, something really bad is going to happen to you. And you can like verbally say to that person, hey, I feel like you're stalking me. This is the third time I'm telling you. The fourth time I'm telling you, you will not be happy to know what's going to happen to you. Those kind of things, like if we understand, and the like, let's say the police understands that these are the consequences for these people, I think that would be a lot easier, because like what Sam said, oftentimes we don't see anything happening to these stalkers at all.
Nothing happens
And we
until
need
someone gets murdered.
someone
Yeah.
gets murdered, and it becomes a podcast like what the hell we're
Yep,
talking about right now.
that's true.
You know?
And laws don't happen. They don't make laws until something happens
And
too.
that's why I think if you're being stalked by, let's say, not your ex, or like just someone that's you feel like is gonna hurt you, go get a gun and learn about it. Don't
Yeah.
be unsafe, but take classes, take courses, be confident in having your gun at home. I'm not saying carry it around with you everywhere, but if you want to, but just have some type of protection at home, because your new husband or your family is not always gonna be there. And
And honestly, a restraining order is not enough. They don't
restraining,
care.
You can't assume that somebody's not gonna hurt you. You gotta always assume that this guy is gonna do the worst thing ever to you. So you have to be ready.
restraining order is like
And
leaving a piece of cheesecake on a table and then telling me I can't touch it, right? I'm gonna go and still take a bite out of it. Like,
Like they just put a basket
yeah, it's
over
like
it.
yeah,
Like,
it's
oh,
like putting
okay.
paper over the cheesecake. I'm still gonna take the paper away. It doesn't mean anything to me.
if
Especially if
if
that paper is posting their location.
Exactly.
if like yeah no if there was like a monitoring system where, hey, this person is within 100 feet, that police boom automatically come, and that is the norm, that would be fine. But restraining orders don't matter. None of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters for the person who's
It
gonna eventually get stabbed or
especially
killed.
especially when you see them break that no contact order like multiple times with no repercussion. There's zero things happening. They go to jail for what, 2 or 3 nights. They bail themselves out, and they're back to going to doing what they're doing again, stalking the same woman, terrorizing her life, invading her private space,
Hey, excuse me. Stalking the same man or
man or
woman.
woman. Men do get stalked too.
How dare
And
you, Jonah?
It was just an example
Assuming.
because the person that we're talking about is a woman, and the Indian guy.
ins- don't be
They do
insensitive
say
to us
he,
handsome men who get stalked too. So
That's true.
80% of stalking victims are women, though. So blows the
yeah,
20%. That's
I'm the 20%.
yeah. Your
But
video today. Oh, well, go ahead.
so do you think there are any correlations, any parallels between the way that a stalker acts and a murderer or a serial killer acts?
Uh, yeah, I think the correlation, or there's no the difference is that murderers and killers, right? They have a obsession of wanting to kill someone, so they go and commit the crime. Whereas stalkers, they have an obsession of just wanting to be with someone, and the murder usually falls because their obsession has grown so much that they can't take it no more, and they're getting rejected so much that the only option now is to commit the crime, right? To commit murder. But
I almost feel like there is no separation between a stalker and a murderer. It's just one degree of difference between the
that's
action
true.
that they take at the end.
But
Yeah,
I think like
I feel like
psycho serial killers, their obsession is I like to have death, like feel death in my hands, But like I feel like stalkers, they're not at that point yet, like you said. They're still kind of behind that, right? Where they have that.
Can I give you the definition of a stalker?
yeah.
Yeah, say it again.
So a stalker is a person who harasses someone with unwanted and obsessive attention. They commonly struggle with mental health or personality disorders, such as narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, sociopathy, or dependent personality disorder. They lack the ability to reason and engage appropriately with others and often suffer from a lack of social skills.
Yeah, see, I think they do have the sociopath tendencies, right? Where they don't feel empathy, they don't feel any of that. Like, I don't get why she's so upset. I don't get why she's doesn't like that I said this and that. I don't get why that. Where I think psychopaths, they could feel empathy, but then they at the end of the day they still don't care. You know? But
Yeah, like I was saying though, like give a stalker enough opportunity, enough reason, they already have that passion behind them. So I think the inability to discern between no and oh yeah, pursue me, dude,
Yeah.
that's true.
that's key to being a normal person. Like that can drive one of these people. I feel like I've listened to a lot of true crime, right? And all of them, even like the documentaries where they talk to people, all of them kind of sound like stalkers. They all sound kind of the same. They all talk about the same
Mm-hmm.
things. They all say the same things, and I think that we really have to be careful because stalkers don't mean any good. They always mean bad.
And
They're never there. Oh my gosh, I want to come clean your house. No, they want to like do the bad things, the worst things to you that they
and
can.
that's why Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, is the most dangerous stalker, right? Because he was a psychopath killer, but on top of that, he loved stalking people. So he would stalk them first, go into their house, kill their husbands, and then rape her and then murder her too. So it was like a whole menage a trois of like mental health issues with him. He had all three of those aspects in.
Crazy.
But I think stalkers
I
are
feel like
definitely capable of murdering. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could jump a stalker, blast him on Facebook, show him that he's wrong, but he will still say no.
he will still
He
think
will
he's
still
right
believe
at the
that
end of
he
the
is.
day. Yeah,
Yep. He would get, dude, they're like, stalkers just need to get, like, beat up. Nah,
they
dude.
don't.
They'll play the victim.
They need mental health
Okay.
treatment or they need to be locked up.
Dude.
Get your hands back up. Get your hands back up. Have you ever Facebook searched or stalked any of your exes? You're lying. Yeah, you saying like fire.
Which one? No, just kidding.
Have you ever done it consistently on a regular basis? Not even talking about
Oh,
like
What is
so
regular
you
basis?
yeah. Only when I'm drunk.
okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
regular. That's
That's
regular. So break down.
every weekend.
I would say
Did
before
you
when I
ever?
was very mentally unhealthy after the breakup, yeah. But after a while, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. No, but that's normal
Yeah.
grieving, right? That's normal process. Have you ever looked at if they have a partner? Have you ever looked at the partner's page?
Gosh.
Get a little smaller now.
No,
Hey,
Russ, I'll watch this, please.
have you ever made a post hoping that they would see it?
Jeez, Louise.
It's been so long. I don't do that, but I don't think so.
It's
have you
but they can't see it because they block you.
okay? Have you ever done anything in your life to be better than what you think that they already have?
Wait to do what?
Oof.
Like,
Like okay, so let's say they're looking for example. They say, hey, you're not good enough because you're not rich enough, and so you try really hard to be rich.
oh no, I was already on my way there, so that's her long. So I
so
wasn't
so
changing who I was. It's just you don't wait for this. You don't. That's it.
no, and so the idea is that hey, we all kind of have these tendencies to do things because of other people, right? And like, oh yeah, I wonder like, hey, how these people are doing. It's just we don't have that switch that we can't turn off. They have a switch where they can't turn off, and I mean, I know that we all know stalkers in our life, but they speak at a different level. Yeah, they speak at a different level where like you're like, how can a normal person say these types of things? It's not
Yeah.
possible. It's because there's a disconnect in the brain that we all can actually turn off, right?
And so like this Jeffrey Dahmer, right? you can therapy help these people?
To a certain point.
But it, like Jeffrey Dahmer said, I will never be saved.
Hmm.
I should be dead. You let me out of jail right now. I'll do exactly what I've been doing. I think stalkers are the same way. It's like they know what's right from wrong, but they know that they're not gonna stop either. So, what can be a solution for these type of people? You know?
Okay, so okay, let's talk about how about this? Like consequences. If bullies at school realize if they bullied kids, they'd get shot, and they would like they would unalive themselves by like bullying people. I think a lot more bullies wouldn't exist. But I think that once you become a stalker, even if people were getting unalived by bullets and stuff, you wouldn't be able to understand that, and you would continue to be it. So I don't think that there's therapy that can help these people. There might be medicine, like if you just use medicine to just like destroy their minds and make them like puppets and stuff. Maybe that
Yeah,
might
and
work.
I think that's like ethically wrong. You know, like um,
I mean, the alternative is jail. The alternative is having people die. If, let's say, this person has been stalking somebody for over 10 years and they're getting real close to it, I mean, I will be all for drugging this person up and giving them some sort of like a mental drug to like,
mental health medications to level them out.
yeah, level them out,
Maybe it could be just an imbalance in their brain, and what if medication can help with that? You know. But I
Yeah,
don't think there's any scientific research. If there is, comment down below. Let us know.
yeah,
Any research on pharmaceutical therapies? But
yeah, that's true. Anything else, Sam?
Um, no, I mean I have one more question, but I don't know if should I ask it.
Go
ask
for it, and then we
away,
have to do our
bro.
shout out. And then we have to
Okay.
do our shout out for the last person who commented on videos, and I have a person too. So
Okay, perfect. So I just, we're Hmong was got tied to the Hmong people. Do you think it would be easier to be a stalker in the Hmong community?
Yes.
Because we're so
bro,
like,
you don't even have to try. Stalking is just your cousins and your family, your aunts
no,
will
but
tell you
hear me out though.
about
Like
what.
Hmong people, they don't go to like, they don't do it legally. Everything's like, oh, we're just talk, like family, we're just talk. So if like I stalk this person so much, but then my elder's like, oh, it's cool, he just likes you. Like they're like that, like, oh, he just likes you. He just wants to marry you.
I
Nah,
think I
that
think there's two
that's
aspects of how easy it is, right? One is that we're so connected that someone knows somebody that knows that person. So at the end of the day, finding that person, if you're Hmong, is so easy. Even if they live across in Alaska, all the way to New York, you know. And then the other aspects, like you said, where it's like, I think it's gonna change with our generation, where we don't see it like that no more. But yeah, like let's say if I become obsessive about a girl and I like her a lot, the older Hmong folks, they believe that, yeah, he just really likes you a lot, and sometimes like they still force them to marry each other, right? So you're forced them.
like yeah, like in the culture, right? In the Hmong culture or Hmong community, it's real small. Even the people who like you used to talk to, you don't even want to see them. They come up on your feed because they're connected to your
Yeah,
friends.
Hmm.
So like being able to like see them, that's not the issue. Being able to hear what they're doing, that's not the issue. It's like regardless of how wide you think that the community is, it's very very easy and very
Yeah.
very like prevalent to be able
Like
to just hear about your exes or like talk about it, and then they come up in like casual conversation.
you can't even go to New Year's without being scared.
Yeah, running into
Like they're gonna
people.
roll up and
I
then
saw a lot of people, man. They didn't say hi, so
why do you
oh
think
yeah, you
gangsters
know,
go there to fight? Because they know eventually they're gonna meet someone they don't like.
yeah, I think that's
It's
so
too
stupid.
connected. We're all connected. We're all just one big melting pot.
Yeah.
of incest.
Ugh. Okay, so can I do the shout out
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so our last video, if you guys didn't follow, you guys could go back and watch it. But it was about Mantlanchua. So when you have that type of experience. I think it's very universal, and a lot of people have a related story and or like a anecdotal like story that they want to share with you. But it's like very prevalent in our community because I feel like I don't, maybe we're very connected. But one of our viewers, she's actually our cousin. Her name is Grace, and she had shared a story about how her husband actually she can tell she had an experience where she could tell he was going through that because he was moaning and she can actually look at him and he was like going through it at that moment, you know. And I think that that was like a very eye-opening experience. I've never seen anybody experience it, but I hear people who they say that they've grown up with it and it happens to them a lot. And I just want to thank Grace for sharing that because I didn't realize, yeah, you probably could see other people going through it.
Right. That's
You
pretty
think it's like the
crazy.
folklore
Yeah.
of people say don't wake sleepwalkers because they'll be in shock and not know what to do. What if you wake someone that's getting plancho like or slept on and like you wake them up, like would something happen?
Man, I don't give a shit. I don't ever think about that, man. If you're like screaming, y'all like, get up, fool! You're
You
dreaming. You
you
have a
you
bad dream. I don't give
you
a
wake me
shit.
up and then some ectoplasm just comes out of my mouth like
I'll be like this. I'll be like,
yeah, probably like this in the corner.
no, dude, no, I don't think I would be afraid.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think I
so
would be
either. I think
afraid.
when time comes to it, your our faith is stronger than we think, and at the end we'll step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's
I
how it
don't
is.
think I would be afraid.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, when I go out to fucking search for like ghosts and like, you know, like all that stuff, nah. But
y'all won't.
if it comes, like, hey,
Would you
what?
ever dive into a Ouija board?
Nah, dude, don't play that,
Okay,
dude. That's some.
just a question. Just a question. I mean, oh,
And if you ever do it, don't ask about me.
can you
Leave,
contact?
leave my name out your
Can you
mouth.
contact Blong? Yes.
Like,
About his car insurance.
his his limited warranty that's running out.
how does Blown feel about the world?
Oh,
That's it.
so
That's it.
quick plug. We're creating a new whole Facebook page just for connecting words. We've uploaded two already. We'll be sharing those links to you guys. So you guys comment on those videos again, the old ones and the new one that we're gonna upload today. And we're gonna create a whole separate YouTube channel just because it's connected to Blong's personal information and stuff like that. So we're gonna separate everything into a private entity and hopefully she doesn't come alive and haunt us. But that's gonna be our two new plugs. Maybe we'll create a Twitter as well if you guys want that. Let us know other social media websites that you guys would be interested or apps. I mean that you guys want us to create. We will add those in as well, like Snapchat. I don't know.
And let us know if you know any personally know or have experienced a stalker.
Yes, let us know in the comments down below. We'll be reading
Yeah.
those again. We want to do recap episodes, but then we don't have a lot of interaction yet. Once we get a certain amount of interaction that we feel is good enough, we'll start doing more recap videos on just what we spoke about previously, and we'll do those. And I think that would be very interesting. We could probably even go
And
live once or twice. I think that would be fun. Mistakes. I mean, Blon doesn't edit our videos anyway, so mistakes will be made, and it doesn't matter. But
I think you know the good podcasts they don't edit
that's true.
much.
We do need an editor in the background, though. Like you know,
like a
yeah.
producer.
We're waiting
But
until we're big enough.
don't be shy to like tag the person, the stalker that you know on our comments.
I'm not even above that. If you have a stalker
Yeah,
that you know you want to
call
call
them
them
out.
out,
Hmm.
send them our way. You know.
Yeah.
But if he does anything bad to you, I ain't.
I'm just kidding. Don't be tagging
I'm not
people
block.
that are
Yeah, don't
has
be tagging
murder
people, dude.
intent.
I'm not liable.
Yeah.
But share your experiences with us. I mean, don't you don't have to use your name, actual names of people, but we would be very interested in hearing your stories.
Yep. That's it.
What's next, Sam? What's the next topic? What is Joe? What's the next
I don't
topic
know.
for
Maybe
us
you
to
guys
do?
could let us know down below too. I'm very, like I said, I think we all have the same interest. We love like uh, cold case crimes, murder mysteries, cryptids, ghouls, ghosts. We love all that stuff. I think that's more interesting than like politics and stuff like that. So just let us know you guys want to know. And we can even talk about like stupid stuff too.
Yeah, so I wanted to maybe in the future or the next upcoming podcast talk about how like Hmong people and their relations and like relationships and like advice that we received as like kids and how it's not like as relevant as it was maybe like 50 years ago, you know?
Um, Today too. So
Yeah, today too. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Oh no, yep, that's it. That's all I have to say about stalkers. I feel like they're more common now because it's just so easy to do it now with locations, with all the apps and everybody posting their life on online. So just be careful. Don't reveal too much. Don't get close to people that you don't know.
I think stalking is worse than today because it's like kids, right? You have knowledge in the palm of your hand now, and it's not just a little bit of knowledge; it's unlimited knowledge, and so you could
Hmm.
find everything online. And so,
I think it's like a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, it's what you guys are saying. It's easier to do, and there's more social media to expose the people who are
yeah,
doing it, right?
Yeah.
So we both can do it and hear more about it. So
like a quick little fast forward to if we talk about relationships. One thing is about dating, right? Dating has been toxic because it's expanded in our horizons now because of the internet. And before, you only talked to people that were in your vicinity, your city, your town, or maybe the next town over. But now you can talk to people across the world and fall in love there. So,
and that's one thing too. Like, yeah, I mean, we don't want to expand on it now, but like, we'll talk about like dating apps and how that's
yeah,
ruling the
I think
world
that'd be
too.
good for next episode. Do more people use dating apps? I don't know.
No, they go to funerals.
Ooh.
East meet East, bro. I met the most toxic girl on East meet
What do you
East,
do at the
dude.
funeral? You swipe
In
left and swipe
Michigan.
right too, or
You be like, hey, Tatiana.
Yeah.
I mean, cô Lucia nói chị Lucia giống đó she có dùng có hẹn yo. And they're like, bitch, I'm
and then
crying.
you see her prettier sister. You're like, Slef. I'm talking to this guy.
No,
You just
what you do? You wait at the snack table and see who picks your favorite snack, and then you
You're like,
talk
this
to them.
guy has made 6 cups of coffee at that snack table already. Why
Yeah,
is he still there?
save it. Okay, we gotta save it. We gotta save it for our next
All
podcast.
right.
yeah. Next
Yeah,
time.
next podcast. I think that's good. We'll talk about that. It's a good subject.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Hope you guys just stay safe. Stay safe. Stay woo. Stay safe. Stay safe. Yeah.
Stay safe.
Woo!
Stay.
Are you connecting words?
No, I'm
No,
not.
you're not.
Trying to connect words.
I'm not a stalker because my IQ is like 20. So,
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
but,
See you guys
all
later.
right. See you
Yep.
later.
Peace out.